Hey Tech Math, here are the guided notes for 10.5, talking about standard deviation. So first off, what is standard deviation? Standard deviation is essentially a comparison of a single data point to the average of a data set. So it is a comparison of a single data point to an average of a data set, but I'm not going to write that, to an average. So examples of standard deviation, and a really easy one to think about, is height. If your friend group has 3 friends and the average height is 5'7", and you are 5'8", you might be taller than the average of your friend group. You might be the tallest one in your friend group. But how much taller are you? Are you significantly taller, or are you only a little bit taller? So standard deviation gives us a more mathematical way to look at how people and things vary. So height is one. Any kind of data set can have a standard deviation because it's just a comparison of any points in that set to the average. So I want you to think of a few more examples, and once you've done that, we'll jump back in. So once we know what standard deviation is, we need to know how to find it without a calculator. Now, it can be done with a calculator, but I think it's almost more complicated to do it on a calculator than it is to just find it by hand. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to list our data. List data. And I usually like to do this in a column format. It just makes sense to me. The second step is going to be subtract the mean or the average from each number. Subtract mean from each number. Okay. Once we've done that, we're going to square each result that we just got. Square each result. Fourth, we're going to add up all the numbers. All new results from the fourth step. Okay. Fifth step, we're going to divide the result by the number of pieces in the original data set, minus 1. So this is like taking the average, but it's adjusted. And you'll see this in the example. Divide all numbers, result from step 4 by number of data points minus 1. Okay. And then the last one will be find the square root of the number. Find the square root of the result from 5. All right, that is a lot of steps. It can be really, really confusing, so it's nice to have this list that tells you what's going on. So let's look at an example of this. We need to find the standard deviation for the following data set. Well, since I'm going to be using the average so much in this, my first step would be to find the average of all the numbers. So 33 plus 33 plus 35, 36, 37, 40, 42. 256 divided by 7 data points gives me an average of 36.6. So I'm going to actually write that up here. Average is 256 divided by 7 equals 36.6. Okay, so let's now start our steps. 1, we're going to list our data in a column. It is already listed for us, but I'm going to bring it down here. 33, 33, 35, 36, 37, 40, 42. Second step, we're going to subtract the average from each number. So minus 36.6 minus 36.6, and then we're going to do that all the way down. 33 minus 36.6. And I'm going to put my information in a second column so that you know where I'm getting this information. Okay, negative 3.6 is my result there. Negative 3.6. 35 minus 36.6. Negative 1.6. Negative 0.6. 37 minus 36.6. Pretty sure that's going to be 0.4. Yep. 0.4, 3.4, and then 5.4. So those are all my second step where I subtracted the average from each number. Third step says I'm going to square each result. So 3 says I'm going to take negative 3.6 and square it. I should have put that in parentheses. Negative 3.6. Square it. There we go. So I get a positive number. 12.96. 12.96. Because the negative is going to become positive anyway, I'm not actually going to square that because it just takes more time to type into the calculator. You can still see the result is the same if you try it though. 0.36. 0.4 squared. 0.16. 3.4 squared. 11.56. And then 5.4 squared, 29.16. All right, third step done. Fourth says we have to add up all the new results. Okay, so let's do that. 29.6 plus 11.56, 16, 36, 256, 12.96, 12.96. My sum becomes 69.72. My fifth step is divide that by all the numbers result from step 4, so 69.72, divided by the number of data points minus 1. So I have 7 data points, but I actually have to subtract one of those data points, so we're going to end up dividing by 6 to get our final result. When I do that, I get 11.62. And step 6 says I have to find the square root of the result. And when I do that, my answer becomes 3.4. All right, that was a ton of work. But what does this answer really mean to us? Well, it means that in this set of data, if your average is 36.6, let's take heights for example. If you are 36.6 for height, and you are taller than 3.4 inches taller than this number, you are significantly above average. If we keep going and we double this and we say you're 2 standard deviations away, you are even more than significantly taller. We'll get into this a little bit more in 10.5, into 10.6. However, we need to understand deviations and how to calculate them in order to understand the 10.6 lesson. All right, I'm going to encourage you to pause the video here, see if you can use what we just did together to complete these notes. When you're done, come on back and I will show you example 2. Hey Tech Math, I hope you paused the video and checked out how to do standard deviation on your own. I'm going to show you that process again with a little bit smaller data set. So the first thing I need to do is find the average of this set of numbers. 8, 11, 5, 9, 7, 6, divided by 6 total data points. I forgot to get that. So 46 divided by 6 equals, we're going to do 7.7 just for the sake of it. I'm going to list my data in my column just like I did before. I don't really need to list it in order, but as a personal thing, I like to. So we get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. Did I miss one? Nope, we're good to go. Second, subtract from the average. This is going to be, negative 2.7. This one's going to be negative 1.7. This is going to be negative 0.7. This is going to be 0.3, 1.3, and then 3.3. And I just subtracted the average from each of these numbers. All right, column 3, we're going to square each result. 2.7 squared. I'm actually going to put this over here. There we go. All right, 1.7 squared, 289.7 squared, 0.49, 0.3 squared, 0.09. Yep, 0.09. 1.3 squared, 169. 3.3 squared, 1089. All right, step 4 says we add those results. So plus 1.69. All right, I get 23.34. Step 5 says I take that divided by the number of data points minus 1. I originally started with 6, so I'm going to reduce by 1 and divide by 5. And then step 6, I'm going to get that result, 4.668. And I'm going to square root it to get my final answer of I'm going to do 2.2. So we have now found the standard deviation for this is 2.2. More on the use of standard deviation in lesson 10.6.